this is me again, Ruowen Huang. Come up and try to see if my brain is logical enough to explain this topic. The reason I want to talk about this topic is I happen to have a client today that mentioned she has like her family member have this kind of problem, and you guys would be surprised how many people have this problem. It just we never really look into it. Most of us have very minor symptoms, including me. So most of us have very minor symptoms, so we don't even notice it's a problem. But there's few of them have like more bigger issue that actually cause difficulty in their lives. So that's why I thought I might well just bring it out and let's talk about it today and see if we can clarify a couple things. Before I begin, let me first introduce myself. My name is Ruowen Huang. I'm an author, spirit coach, and also a psychic. Today, the topic I want to talk about is called hoarding. Hoarding means people like to accumulate things, and sometimes very overwhelming to a point like it start causing difficulty in their living. Like they themselves may not feel it, but difficulty for people who live with them. And now I want to talk about hoarding, like what's the cause of it. To me, hoarding is a very typical emotional disease. That means it's caused by emotional, disability or whatever. And then therefore they will have an action. Why so? Because I say our body or our behavior is simply response to what our soul command, right? When our soul feel missing, a hole, and therefore have a need to fill that hole or cover up something, therefore we will use either item or the food or various things to cover up what it is that we cannot deal with, confront with, or handle. So to many of my clients, I do notice, I'm pretty sure me, myself included, if I ever see the situation like this, I will have an urge or eager to get rid of everything, right? Because it's so out of order. And when I talk about hoarding, I'm not just talking about, excessive buying. I'm talking about people who like to accumulate a lot of things, whether they use or not use, they just continue doing, accumulate. And in this particular case, it's very extreme. That means you very likely go to someone's house, or they don't usually invite you to their house, but their living space will get to a point that they cannot access anymore. So I'm gonna target on those particular people, but I'm hoping by listening to the story, you guys can reflect yourself as well. So don't let it get so bad like you don't know how to handle it. So most of my clients who is dealing with the people around them who have hoarding issue, the first thing they want to do is help them clean up. That means they want to go in there, they want to decide what they should throw away, what's useful, what's not useful. They want to help them to put their living space in order, so it would make them feel good. A lot of time, most of my clients will come back feeling very frustrated because it seems like I will clean up today, tomorrow is another hoarding day or something, or they can continuously clean up, but it's never catch up to the speed the person they're dealing with bringing more stuff in. So they continuous. It feels like it's an empty, like endless black hole. They just don't know when you will end. The more they throw away, the more you bring in. The more you throw away, bring in. Just this cycle never seems to stop. So usually what I would suggest is first, stop cleaning because it's not gonna bring you anywhere until the person's willing to deal and understand what is really going on. Otherwise, you can clean all you want. It ain't gonna do anything about it, right? And very often they will probably tend to blame you and accumulate more things. The reason of that, do understand, the people who have hoarding symptoms, very likely they have some issue they either afraid to deal with, cannot confront, or are eager to bury. So understand this whole three things. Whatever that emotion is, very often, I would say 80% of the client have a very, very low self-esteem issue. Like they do not want people to find out. So their protection mechanism is either accumulate more things to hide that or blame it on you. That is, you are the cause of it because they don't know how to handle it. They never know how to handle it. So the best way for them to do is blame it to you. You must be the cause. So what I'm saying is for you to really just want to jump in there and start clearing things out for them, is almost given a very perfect way out because they have someone to blame, someone to point their finger on. You are the cause of my stress. I'm not the cause of stress. Why? Do understand they have a patterning of not to look into their own issue, or even they know their issue. They just don't want to deal with it, right? So instead of going there, try to help them clean up, usually what I would suggest, I suggest to my client, I would suggest to you all, is please start create a patterning. Either it's between the conversation, day in, day out conversation, without a judgment, but simply let them start understand your living environment reflect your behavior, living environment reflect your internal status. That is, if you're living spaces like this, that means your internal, your heart, your spirit are like this. Because understand, we are either inside reflect out or outside reflect in, right? One way or the other. But very likely the living space reflect one's internal status. So, they might deny this and no, it's nothing to do with it. That's not true or whatever, but it doesn't matter. Continuously create that kind of comment. What are you doing is you try to reprogram what they know. So when they start register and understand the environment is really reflect me, who I am inside. Because very often I would say when my daughter, I give you an example, if my daughter's room is very messy, I won't point out and say, no, I do. This is what I would say. If I open a room and her room is happen to be really messy, I say, do you want to talk about? Is there something you want to talk to me about? Do you want to sit down? Do you want to have a conversation with me? Very often my daughter would say, no. Why? I say, well, you do understand your room reflect your internal status, right? And your room is kind of messy. I can only imagine what you are going through is not clear for you too. Do you need me to give you a hand? Do you need me to help you guide through? Very often my teenager believes she's adult will say, no, mom, I don't need your help. And then within a week or two, or usually the next day or two, the room will be clean, right? So the room will be clean. So this is not a joke, or this is not a trick to trick her so she will clean her room. This is simply a reminder. It's a reminder to remind her your room do reflect your heart. Look into your heart. It's something you need to work on. If you can work on yourself, great. But if you cannot work on yourself, I'm here to help you. Do you need help from me? You know what I mean? So also encourage them to call out for help if they want. So what I'm saying is, if you do have friends or family who happen to have a hoarding status behavior, it is important for you to establish that understanding, because most of them don't. So you want to establish an understanding. Your environment do reflect your internal. So you can talk about it through joking. You can talk about it through daily, but understand, don't talk about it with judgment, because they are super sensitive about it. Remember what I say? They have a very low self-esteem. They're trying too hard to protect, or too high, right? So simply state it as a matter of fact. Is there something I can help you with? Is there something you want to talk about? Is there something you couldn't figure out that I can help you through? Because I can see you start accumulate a lot of, stuff. What does this stuff represent to you? Those are the questions you do want to help them think through. If people who like to accumulate paper, ask them, what does paper represent to them? You might want to sit down and have a conversation. How do you feel when you accumulate the paper? How do you feel when you accumulate boxes? So different item mean different thing. As I say, all of us have hoarding symptom. And then it all mean different thing. Just like me, I know I have all guilty for I like to accumulate food, and I like to accumulate jacket. And I know exactly where it come from, and try to put effort into working on it. So what I'm saying is, to those people who have a holding behavior, those are something you want to establish. So instead of trying to clean it up for them, what you want to do is let them stop associate the item with the emotion they have inside, what it is they are trying to accumulate, what it is they trying to have and feel like they are not having. Because understand, the thing that usually start bringing into their house is the things that they either want to have, don't have, or feel like they are missing, right? So those are the area that you can look into, and you can choose one item and start and work one-on-one item with them. It will take time, yes, but I do believe it's a journey that's going to benefit both of you, the one who is helping and the one who is being helped. So once they start able to establish that understanding, they usually will start having this struggle and almost afraid to throw things away. They'd be afraid to throw, little thing away. They're not sure they little thing is so insignificant. Sometimes you don't even know it's important. When this behavior happens, do understand this is a time when their brain start to establish new understanding, that new connection of how it's associated with my heart. So when you do somehow somewhat catch them start throwing things away, you do want to encourage them. How do you encourage them? Not by saying great job, but try to point it out. Don't you feel lighter now? Because you're letting go of something in your heart that you never want to look into. Let them be present with them feeling. Let them be aware of the feeling that they never sink into. Because once they start establishing that association, what you really want to build is called building their self-confidence. Building self-confidence and let them know, like, see, you can do it. If you cannot do it, don't worry about it. I'm here with you. We can do it together. You know what I mean? So the consistency of things that I saw from people who have holding issue, do understand. Rule number one, they have very low self-esteem. They might act tough. They might blame it at you, but they have very low self-esteem. That's their protection mechanism to point finger at other people, say it's all your fault, so they don't have to deal with their own issue, right? So they have low self-esteem. They don't know how to deal with things, because if they are powerful, they don't have to hide. They obviously feel very powerless. Therefore, they don't know what to do. So to know someone is there to help them, to guide them, not to just store things away from them, it is very crucial for them. Then, slowly help them through, guide them, to let them have self-confidence, to know they can. Once their confidence start building up, this habit will usually improve as well. So anyway, this is something that I thought I would share with you. A lot of time that people would point out, you should not throw things away, you don't respect me. It's the same thing to any one of us. When people touch your thing without your permission, you feel, angry or upset, right? So to them, understand all those things that they hold represent the issue they're putting inside their heart, not dealing with. They might come to a point they start accumulate, or they are used to take other people's issue as their issue. Therefore, when you look at the house, you see there's a lot of other people's unwanted stuff, but they treat it like treasure. You know what I mean? So this is the house usually reflect what a person's behavior is. So instead of coming there and just judge, oh my God, you are sick. Me personally think there's a lot of evidence right in front of your eyes for you to studying their patterning, what it is they're hiding for what it is they have very low self-esteem of, or what it is that they do not deal with. So it can be a journey. As I say, could it be a growing journey for both them and you, if you happen to work with them. But I do believe it's very good opportunity for for you to work on. You happen to have people around them that you have to deal with. So now back to normal people. We all have holding issue. We all, some degree. Everybody's different, but we all, right? People say, no, I don't. Trust me, you do. Otherwise, you will not even fight with me. What I'm saying is, understand your behavior is no different from them, because we hold something. That means we love to buy bag, we love to buy shoes, we love to buy book, we love to buy, technology stuff, we love to buy jacket like me, we like to buy food. There's something that you will realize you have a tendency to buy more than you need. That is holding. I'm not saying anything's wrong with it, but I'm saying usually when this behavior happens, it is reflecting your internal. There's something you feel you don't have enough, or you're missing, or you wish to have more, right? It's just most of us, we cover it very well. We don't buy it to a point that, we cannot live in our living space, you know what I mean? So usually we're pretty good at hiding it. But what I'm saying is, if you are aware you have certain area of holding, right? I'm not saying just quit it, because nobody can just quit it, the truth with you. But understand what it is that you need, that what it is you're missing, what it is that you feel whole of, what it is that you wish to improve on. While you are trying to reduce habit, the most important is to look within yourself, work within yourself, So eventually you might still buy things, but you realize there won't be so much attachment to it. You know what I mean? I mean, you buy it, but you don't really feel happy. Or happy only lasts so short. You will still buy in the future, most likely, but you would truly understand when you need it, why you want to buy it. You know what I mean? Instead of just start becoming a holding disease. But anyway, just personal experience to share with you all. I forgot to clarify this, but then again, I'm not a doctor, not planning to be a doctor. Just simply share with you what I've been observing through the time while I, consult people myself or people around me, and hoping my psychic perspective of things can give you guys a little help on top of what you already know or don't know. So again, if you like what I'm doing, you can always join me live on Facebook, or go to subscribe my YouTube channel or my website, ruowen.com. Till then, talk to you guys next time. Bye!